Good evening, Prescott Valley. Welcome to the May 8th, 2018 Parks and Recreation Commission meeting. We'll call the meeting to order with the roll call. Kathy?
Commissioner Gummer?
Yes.
Commissioner Trevini?
Here.
Commissioner Fallman?
Here.
Commissioner Brinkman?
Here.
Chairperson Frere?
Here. Okay. With that, if everybody's had a chance to review the agenda that was distributed, please offer any suggestions. Otherwise, I'll take a motion for approval.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda for May 8th, 2018 as written.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Very good. And once again, we'll approve the minutes from the April 10th, 2018 regular meeting minutes. If we've all had a chance to review those, offer any suggestions for correction. Otherwise, I'll take a motion for approval.
I'll make the motion to approve the minutes April 10, 2018.
And a second.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Very good. Moving on to our next agenda item, announcements from Director Whitty. Who's sporting a quite futuristic look this evening.
Star Wars movies. Star Wars 13?
Yes, I'm a little late. I'm 4 days behind for May the 4th be with you. So I'm going to jump in tonight and get that knocked out. So thank you for noticing. So we'll just jump right into announcements real quick. Just so our viewing audience knows, I apologize. Don't mean to yell into your ears. May the 10th through the 12th is Prescott Valley Days here in the town of Prescott Valley. This is an event scheduled and brought to you by the Prescott Valley Chamber of Commerce. It's going to be May 10th through the 12th at the Entertainment District right here in downtown Prescott Valley. So grab your friends and family, join in all the fun-filled carnival weekend activities. It'll be celebrating the town and its events. In addition to that, one of the special activities scheduled for Saturday, May the 12th, is the PV Days Parade. This will be taking place on Florentine Road, so we encourage everyone to come out and join with us, as well as celebrate the town of Prescott Valley's float in there. So we want to win the big awards, so we're counting on all of you to help us with that. Be greatly appreciated. But for those folks, join us out there on Florentine through its entire route of PV Days Parade. We're very excited about 2018. And you noticed on this slide and the slide previously is the celebration theme of Wizard of Oz. And why is that? Well, 2018 happens to be the town of Prescott Valley's 40th anniversary. And with that, ruby is the gemstone for that. So why not the ruby slippers of Miss Dorothy during the 40th anniversary of the town of Prescott Valley? So you'll see a lot of thematics to that. You may have already heard a few of our council members celebrating as well. So you'll be able to look forward to seeing them in their special themed parade entry this year. So look forward to seeing everyone out on Florentine from 9 to 10 a.m. on Saturday, May 12th. Saturday, May 19th and 20th, please put that in your calendar, is the Prescott Valley Music Festival. This is being brought to you by Green Kite Records and Out of Order Productions. This will take place with the gates opening at noon, entertainment starting at 1 and continuing to 10 p.m. on both Saturday and Sunday nights. This will be located right here at Theater on the Green. Our address is 7501 East Civic Circle. The pre-sale tickets are $15 a day, $25 for the 2-day pass. At the gate, they jump up to $20 per day, $35 for the 2-day pass. Active military are discounted to $13 a day or $20 for the 2-day pass. Children under 5 are free. Tickets are available at www.brownpapertickets.com. If you need more information, feel free to give us a buzz at the office, 759-3090. We'll be able to direct you to that website or help answer any other quick questions you might have.
What's the range of bands that we're
It is a mixed genre event. So unfortunately, I apologize. I do not. Do I have tonight's lineup in front of me? Okay.
Don't have it
With
yet.
me being out of the office, I needed to ask the people that are in the know. So I'm doing those, but I do not have tonight's lineup for you. But it is a mixed genre, and I would surely think if we were to visit Prescott Valley Music Festival online, you would probably find the website there, and it would give you a whole host of lists of the various artists. I want to say there's 15 artists scheduled for each day.
Wow.
So it is quite
The
diverse.
link lists quite a few of the artists. So is this a bring your own chair or blanket?
You are correct. Being at the theater, it is an open seating environment, so we encourage everybody to do so. Much like at Battle of the Bands and our other events, we ask no glass containers. If you could leave your furry friends at home so that for everyone's enjoyment, they can come out and live it up during the music festival out at Theater on the Green.
Vendors?
Food vendors will be on site. Some of the performers will also have their materials for sale.
Very nice. It's going to be an exciting weekend.
Yes.
Interesting to see how this turns out.
I'm excited for it too. So hopefully you come hungry, thirsty, and wide-eared and ready to rock and roll or stomp your foot or all those other good things that come along with the mixed genre that's available to us.
Outstanding. Looking forward to it. Thank you so much. Any other questions? Okay, moving on.
Next is Movies Under the Stars. It's hard to believe we've been doing this for all of these years. We're going to kick off Friday, May 25th with Trolls. This is a very fun animated film featuring Anna Kendrick and Justin Timberlake. And those are a couple of crazy fun folks out there. Again, as you mentioned earlier, please bring your chair, your picnic blanket. Enjoy the show. Movies start at 7:45, and this is entirely free. Compliments of our fine sponsors, and Trolls is being brought to you by Mingus Mountain Academy, the Mountain Lions.
Very good. Great to have community partners.
Most definitely. And these will be taking place every Friday night out at Theater on the Green all the way through the month of June, with exception of one particular night, and that is going to be Friday, June 1st. Friday, June 1st, it's going to be a drive-in theater experience.
Oh, nice.
And we're asking everyone to join us out at the Event Center parking lot. We're going to have a super jumbo big screen set up, and everyone will be able to dial right in their cars, or they can enjoy the theater experience that we normally provide at Theater on the Green.
Very cool. And then will there be speakers that people can put in their cars, or is it a...
You'll be able to actually dial in
On
directly
radio.
onto your car.
Very
Yep.
nice.
Yep, we've secured that as well. So
Very nice. And what movie? Is that to be revealed still?
that is actually the colorized version of the original Judy Garland Wizard of Oz.
Wow.
Yes.
That'll be awesome.
Yes, it will.
How cool.
All right. Next is our Kids to Park Day 2018. We're asking everyone to join in the celebration and on Saturday, May 19th. And we urge you to come out, take your kids out to their favorite neighborhood park. It's intended to promote park stewardship, outdoor recreation, and broaden your child's appreciation for nature, health, and wellness in the outdoors. We have a vast park system here in Prescott Valley, and we're encouraging everyone to get out. So get the kids, get the family, get everyone out of doors and enjoying the parks and park in. Enjoy the day. So if you need more information on the number of parks that you might consider visiting to have that picnic and get out and play and enjoy social activities, perhaps bring your neighbors out or your friends, your children's friends, families, and engage, feel free to give us a buzz at the office at 759-3090. Of course, you can visit us on the website at pvaz.net. You'll be able to find a listing of all of those parks and directional maps that way. But we're more than happy to help you with that if you'd like to make a Ramada reservation, all those good types of things. But this is just an invitation for the kids to get out and getting exercise, enjoying, exploring, learning, having a ton of fun based upon that family endeavor.
Very nice. That should be a good day for all the kids, young and old.
Yes, sir. All right, here's a variety of different classes for folks to look at. Again, as I mentioned earlier, pvaz.net. is our system to go online and look at all of our different classes. We're going to highlight just a few. We have chair yoga available on Wednesdays from 10 a.m. to 11 there at the Civic Center. We have evening Tai Chi Tuesday nights, 6:30 to 7:30 at the Civic Center, as well as Yoga Light or light yoga for those who want to practice in an easier mode. Those are on Wednesday mornings from 8:30 to 9:30, again, also at the Civic Center. In addition, we have a performing arts day camp available for our young people ages 6 to 14. Again, this is available to you at the Prescott Valley Civic Center there on the 3rd floor. We have 2 camps. One is a Broadway camp, Monday, June 25th through the 29th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. daily, as well as a rock band camp, Monday, July 16th through the 20th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. All of our participating youth should come dressed in comfortable clothes and shoes that allow for movement and bring their own lunch and water so that they have that available to them for each day. Questions, feel free to give us a call. You can email us at parks@pvaz.net or give us a phone call at 759-3090.
Standing.
Next is beginning crochet and knitting. These are classes and workshops that are available for folks to come take a look at it. We have classes on May 14th and the 21st from 10:30 until 12:30, as well as then workshops on Saturday, May 19th, 10:30 to 12:30 at the 3rd floor of the Prescott Valley Library. We also have beginning sewing. This is where we're going to learn how to sew a tote bag with our experienced instructor, Miss Lorna Crooks. Students should know how to operate their own sewing machine and must provide their own supplies for the class. We'll give all of that information at registration or if you would like to inquire with us. Week 1, we'll start the tote bag, and week 2, we'll finish that rascal. The classes will begin on Tuesdays, May 15th and 22nd, and those will be in the conference room there at the Civic Center. And last but not least, to bring to everyone's attention is Kickball League. We're bringing back the glory days of gym class. Come join the fun with the Prescott Valley Parks and Rec Department for the 2018 Co-Ed Kickball League. All games will be played on Sunday starting June 3rd from noon until 5 p.m. Registration is open now until the 20th of May or until maximum capacity is reached. We'll be playing 7 games, have a single elimination tournament, and we'll encourage everyone to come out and enjoy. You need to be 15 years of age or older to play, and the team fee is $150, and it is collected at the time of your registration. For more information, give us a call at 759-3090. And with that, I conclude with our classes and activities.
Very good. And you get to pick the team. There's no captains picking teams for the kickball, right?
Yeah, we're going to remove that. Actually, you get to pick your team before
there we
you
go.
come. There you go.
Very good. Sounds like a lot of fun. Okay, moving on to the department update for the director's report. Any questions for Brian?
Be happy to answer any that you might have. I know there's been a lot of work going on as it relates to planning for upcoming events and activities. You saw a few of those this evening. We've done some wrap-ups on adult softball leagues. We're wrapping up our basketball league. Volleyball league is kind of coming to its midpoint, I believe, in the second session of things. We're getting things ready for the Prescott Valley or PV days this particular weekend. There have been a whole host of activities going on out there and doing such. So
The statistics look pretty good to me. You may not have had a chance to review them yet.
I can only imagine staff doctored them up real good while I was gone.
But it's they really put together some very nice numbers. I thought, all of the attendance is up, the rentals is. Overall, it's looking really great.
Well, I think that's the one thing. I don't have to tell you this. I know as commissioners you know this through your interactions with the public, but it's a very engaging public, and they utilize their park and rec system very, very well.
Just looks really good.
How is the repairs down at the low water crossing coming along?
Those are coming along fairly well. Unfortunately, as I was leaving the office to get my special Star Wars fitting done here, they were in the process of completing that. But if you also recall, we had a few days of rain, and that unfortunately hit right at the same time. So we didn't really experience a whole bunch. I know when I spoke to them on the first day, when the first half of the construction was taking place, they saw no impact. The next days, I don't think, brought anything more that should have provided any issue whatsoever. So we should be done, wrapped up down there, and ready to go for our upcoming. Matter of fact, no, I take that back. It had to have been done for last weekend for the Cops and Bobbers event that we were co-hosting. Did we receive any feedback on that?
I believe there was about 150 children, and the place was packed.
Good.
We really had a good time. There was absolutely no shoreline left for people to fish. There
All
were
right.
so many.
So 150 participating youth, no shoreline was left available, so they were quite active down there, and the park was in good order. So
Very good.
very nice. So with that, if you don't have any questions.
I see they're moving ground at the Boys and Girls Club on the gymnasium.
Yes, sir. We had our groundbreaking ceremony just a few weeks back, and with that, the contractor definitely was ready to go. So they're making those efforts for the groundwork. Their intent is to have all of the flat work, the concrete work, completed well before monsoons come in, because that will be a dramatic impact to that environment. So that is its intent. Basically, after that point in time, there'll be some utility work that can still be done. But the biggest thing after that, as we all know, is the steel work. And there's a lot of involvement there, a lot of plates in the air in doing those things. But as of right now, everything is contractually held. We're feeling very good about things. Also, while I was out, we got the final confirmation that our ball field lighting company, if you're familiar with the name Muskow, they're the ones that we work with highly on our ball fields. They're renowned for other professional sports stadiums and those types of things. They have come to the table in a tremendous level of support and are donating all of the gymnasium lights.
Very good.
Wow.
So that'll be a very substantial donation to the project, too.
Nice.
So we're very excited about that and grateful to them for their support in doing those types of things. So other than that, the partnership with the Boys and Girls Club continues to grow strong. We have a couple of different projects in the hopper and working with their young people and staff over the course of the summer. So very excited about everything coming forward there.
Outstanding. Cool. Moving right along. Okay, moving on to the chairperson's report. I have nothing new to share, so we'll just move past that into the tree advisory board business. And we'll just do a little quick Arbor Day wrap-up. The Parks and Recreation staff hosted the annual Arbor Day event for about 175 school-age children and adults on Friday, April 27th at Bob Woodward's Park. We were expecting over 300 attendees. However, with the teacher walkout, 2 of the schools had to cancel. 6 trees were planted by the Parks Division, consisting of globe willows and purple robe locusts. The locations of the trees were selected to provide the areas of shade in the grass for patrons to enjoy for picnics as well as sports spectating. The Early Bird Lions Club provided hot dogs for all those in attendance. Staff was able to gather donations from Hensley Beverage Company and Cisco Food Services for chips and beverages to complete the free lunch. Overall, the event was well attended and received by the public. Several classes took pictures with the trees they helped plant and intend to return yearly until their high school graduation to take a picture as they and the tree both grow. So sounds like another successful Arbor Day event, and appreciate all our community partners in supporting that and helping us garner another Tree City USA for the 12th consecutive year.
Yes, we also had the fire department color guard come for Arbor Day, and one bagpiper
Thanks.
who played America the Beautiful, and that was really fabulous with the color guard. The first time I think we've ever had that.
Yes, ma'am, you are correct.
It's very nice.
We were very fortunate in regards to their availability because they are very tough to schedule. And so they
sure.
were gracious enough to come out and visit with us, and I think really opened some eyes to folks, especially our young people that were in attendance.
Right. Also, I wanted to mention under tree advisory, which I forgot to tell Kathy about, we did pick up the proclamation for Tree City USA from the mayor. That would be Ron and I did that. And so then you probably received that in the office. So we're really certified now. The flag is up, and you know I like the flag being up. So,
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So that was kind of an interesting thing to do again.
Yes, ma'am.
Done it.
And that is one of several of our different items that's a requirement for recertification for our Tree City USA status. And that is the recognition by our community leaders. And so a proclamation is one of those elements. The other is the establishment of the Tree Advisory Committee in doing that. And so we have citizen advisors as well as members of this commission that sit on that. And then we have our Arbor Day event, tree plantings, a whole host of other activities that we do. So there's a whole listing of different services and activities, programs, staff development, commission development, all of those types of things that are set upon each year. And so you began that process in regards to the proclamation and next the tree, and there are several other components that will follow through. So you basically got the ball rolling downhill, and we're going to keep gathering steam.
Good.
Very good.
I didn't get a sapling.
Oh, you missed out then. I'm sorry.
Yes, me too.
Well, you got me. I'm a big sap, so.
I told Ron I'm a sap for a sapling.
Sap for a sapling, okay. Well, we'll do an even exchange then, so doing those good things. Kaler Land Works was also a supporter. I think, did we mention the Prescott Valley Lions?
Yeah,
Early Bird Lions, okay, because I know they were out there working hard, cooking all the hot dogs up for everybody and stuff, and they received a whole host of donations. I know Brady worked hard on that, along with Jason Elmer, who was a big component that day.
So I'd like to say that he did very, very well. Kudos to him. He really ran it very fine. The kids were right with him, and all his little quizzes and prizes. He did a great job.
He's well versed with all his nieces and nephews, but now also with his 3-year-old daughter, and she keeps him hopping. So,
I would just like to add my comments on the Arbor Day event as well. Just kind of piggybacking on what Elaine said, it was another fine event. Jason did a good job. One of the questions that he asked, though, I had to laugh because he had asked who was the first person that he introduced that day, and the expected result or answer was the mayor, although the student that commented said, well, you were. And so he was kind of speechless. He said, well, you're right, so give him a prize. So that was kind of neat. The storybook reading was wonderful again. It was a story about the tree and a young boy growing up with the tree and the various uses of the tree. And it kind of had a sad ending. But all in all, I want to say that your crew did a great job again. Some of those trees, especially the willows, they expect are going to have a great canopy in about 4 or 5 years, providing a lot of shade to everyone who shows up for the soccer games there. So another great event. And there were a couple of new residents that showed up, and I was chatting with them a little bit, and they had a lot of great positive feedback, not only about the event itself, but also about the condition of the park.
Excellent.
And I think that's going to be one of our premier parks here, if it's not already coming up in the next few years. So kudos to your crew, Brian. Always doing a great job.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that.
We were actually visited by 2 or 3 roadrunners that day running around the park, so the kids had a great time.
See, everybody was in the know. We tried.
They eat hot dogs, too.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. And I thank all of you for those that could be in attendance for your support that day. It helps things go a long way, and I know it helps boost the morale of the team participating that day with your attendance and assistance, too. So greatly appreciated by all.
Well, we had a few dignitaries there, too. It was nice that the mayor showed up.
Yes, sir.
And 2 council people. It was very good.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Mayor's a big supporter.
Yes.
Outstanding. Okay. Any other questions about Arbor Day? Okay, moving on to old business. The results of the Get Out and Trail.
Yes, Get Out to Trail was held in celebration of the Rails to Trails Day, April 7th through the 28th, in which the town created this program not only to celebrate Rails to Trails and getting outdoors and encouraging healthy lifestyles, but we also put together a little contest, and it was a photo contest in doing such. And we encouraged everyone, whether they could get out on our natural trails or whether they were on our urban trails, we asked everyone to get out and take a peek. So if you could see below there, up on the screen, up on your screen, our first place winner was Miss Heather Waldroff. She will receive a $25 user credit to our park and recreation programs and services, along with 4 entries to the 5K for the Hill of It event that we'll be hosting in October, along with 4 individual pool admissions so that we can encourage this outdoor activity and healthy lifestyles in doing that, so that she can share that with her friends or family and get out there and enjoy more of the great outdoors right here in Prescott Valley. So congratulations to Miss Heather, and you'll hopefully be seeing more of these encouraging type activities out there for healthy lifestyles and enjoying what Prescott Valley has to offer in regards to its parks and recreation system.
Now, did we fine her $25 for standing on our picnic tables?
No, actually, that we really need to know which direction the wind was blowing that day, so she was providing a service back. So, atop of Glassford Hill, you just never know what to expect.
It's quite the effort to get up there.
You bet.
So she well deserved. Very good. Any other questions about the Get Out and Trail event? Okay, moving on. Antelope Park Pickleball Court update.
Yes, sir. If you and the commission recall, we had a visit from the Prescott Valley Pickleball Association, in which they presented an opportunity to develop public pickleball courts here within the town of Prescott Valley. So that motion went before you. You highly recommended it. We presented it to the town council on 2 different occasions. They were very supportive of that. They empowered not only the Pickleball Association, but the commission and staff to begin moving that ball forward. So what we have for you tonight, we wanted to ask Miss Jan Gradle to join us. And she is the chairperson for the Prescott Valley Pickleball Foundation, and she's going to basically give us all a little bit of an update, where they're at, how things are going, the next steps coming into our future. So with that, I will step out of the way.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Are you all familiar with pickleball?
A little bit,
Familiar.
based off your
Okay,
previous presentations.
Because this is phase 3 of our program, and I wasn't sure where you were on that, I have a PowerPoint that I can send to Brian that he could forward to you so you can see what the process was in getting the approval through the town. And then there's pickleball videos, so I can connect you to the youth videos that have gone to national tournaments and won in a youth group. Pickleball's played by kids as old as 9 years old, or young as 9 years old, and as old people as old as 90. So it's definitely a community sport.
They had this on ABC, and they showed
the
morning
Nationals.
shows, and they showed how it's done and played, and the net height and all. That was very interesting.
It is awesome. Okay. So I wanted to just give you my background because I have a different approach to community and pickleball play than what I'm seeing locally. So I really want to push pickleball play for our young people, for our families, so these young families can get out in the afternoon, evenings, weekends with their children, for our vets, for the seniors, for all different groups of people. So I am a retired lieutenant colonel with the United States Air Force Reserves. So I joined the VFW in Prescott Valley, and I haven't really gone there much, but my goal there is to get them interested in pickleball. So we want our vets to be playing. I'm also a retired pediatric nurse practitioner. I love families. I love kids. I love people, and especially healthy people. So in this fundraising plan, I'm just going to walk you through it so that you can get an idea of how we'll be raising our monies. We want to raise $160,000. So this plan is going to tell you how we're going to start doing that. And once we get those monies raised, I'm used to having my mouse. Oh, perfect. Okay. That's okay. I won't be reading all these pages to you, but so the second page is just the table of contents. Oh, page 3. Yeah. This is an executive summary that just tells you basically about us as an organization. And page 4 is where I'd want you to look. So what I've done with page 4, I have 3 fact sheets. This is one of them. Page 4, the Prescott Valley Pickleball Association has partnered with the Arizona Community Foundation, and they had some recommendations on how to present materials so that people that were going to be sponsoring you or working with you would understand who your organization is. So that's the model I followed with this. In 2016, I think all of you know Danny Boy Carterchuk. He's a pickleball ambassador. I'm also a pickleball ambassador for the town of Prescott Valley along with Danny. So I'm approaching this from that perspective of being a pickleball ambassador, and then I'm putting all my other life skills behind it and looking at what we want to do with this. So the project idea, Danny helped us start a pickleball association. So in our pickleball association, we probably had like 30 or 40 members in June of 2016. We were all retired senior citizens, and we were playing pickleball at our HOAs, which have restricted play at most of the HOAs, plus it was all just the older people playing. So what we were looking at is we need community pickleball where people can come out, play on the courts for free, learn how to play pickleball, and be a part of our community. And we do draw people in from the community that don't belong to the HOA. Some of the HOAs charge people $1 for balls because they have to pay for it. I'm at Pronghorn Ranch, so Ben Snyder, they pay for everything for our pickleball. We now have one of the projects that we ran at Pronghorn Ranch was we had one court that went across the tennis court line. So then we ended up with 2 courts, pickleball courts, and we gave them a proposition for doing 4 courts. We now have 4 courts on a tennis court, 4 pickleball courts. So the problem with Pronghorn Ranch is we're all retired. Nobody else comes out but us. We only can play for an hour and a half because it's a multi-use court. So even though we're an HOA with 4 pickleball courts, I have 4.5 hours a week that I can play during the day. As opposed to Orchard Ranch that has 2 courts that are dedicated for pickleball. They play 3 hours a day because they get tired after the 3 hours, and they play for a full week. They play Monday through Friday. And they open their courts. The Prescott Resort.
Pioneer Park?
Oh, Pioneer Park. Okay, so we lose a lot of our players to Pioneer Park. So our good players, I'm a 3 social player. That's my level. So the good players, sometimes from Pronghorn, even they'll come out on our courts and play with us, but they don't stay. So all the good players in Prescott Valley right now, they go down to Phoenix, and they play the tournaments, lots of tournaments down there because pickleball got started in Surprise as far as the expansion and explosion of it. So they go down to the Valley, or they go to Pioneer Park, where they're playing with other 4-level players. So we rarely see them here. They're just driving by, going over there. A lot of your tournament play that money's coming in for happens out there. Orchard Ranch, one of our 5 HOAs that has a pickleball club, They now have, and it all started in 2016. None of us knew what we were doing. Danny came on our courts, taught us how to run these small social tournaments. Now Orchard Ranch is running tournaments they've done 2 veteran tournaments. The last one was just this past week. They had 150 people. I was looking at the statistics. 150 people signed up on tournaments, pickleballtournaments.com, and that's an international site now. So they signed up because so everybody came out, and 90 of those players were not from Yavapai County. They weren't from this area. Some of them were even out of state, but most of them were from the state, but they were all out of the area, which means restaurants and hotels all went to Prescott. They raised, I'm just assuming, I don't know their numbers, they charge $25 a piece to enter, and that's typical for a tournament. They also charge a $5 entry fee. They have a women's group, they have a men's group, and they have a mixed group. So each day, one of those groups is playing. So you can have, like I played just in the women's group, but if I did a mixed group, then I would have paid $25 plus a $10 fee to play. So all that money goes back to Orchard Ranch. Orchard Ranch has to pay pickleballtournaments.com for these are their site for signups. When Danny ran his snaps tournaments, both times he had pickleballtournament.com come down and run the tournament as far as doing a lot of the things. Danny was like the MC for the tournament, but the pickleball tournaments group actually had their computer and did all the computerized things for all the entries. So you pay money for that. So Orchard Ranch didn't. They at this point they know how to run a tournament and do all the paperwork and everything else that they need to do. And Orchard Ranch is our people. They've actually formed a wonderful executive committee in order to keep our Prescott Valley Pickleball Association healthy and strong. I asked them to come on to our executive committee so they could help me get through the summertime and get our organization stronger. So 3 of their executive members are now on our association. We've just got a bank account, so Prescott Valley Pickleball Association has an EIN number as a sports court, nonprofit, and that's all done through Orchard Ranch has already figured all that stuff out. We'll be able to go down to Orchard Ranch as a group, and we can have between 100 and 200 members, and I'm thinking that that's what we will have by the end of this year. And they have a meeting place for us, but there are no other meeting places in Prescott Valley. So we've had a lot of trouble with the association trying to find adequate meeting places where we could all talk as a group and plan things. So back to this, the mission that we have is the Prescott Valley Pickleball Association. We exist to promote, advocate for, and support the pickleball players of Prescott Valley. And our vision is to build 6 community courts. So the need in the community, the strong need that we saw was we want public pickleball courts that people can play on. Fundraising, again, is going to be $160,000. We wanted 8 courts. I wanted a handicap court, but we couldn't fit it, so we tried. So we have 6 courts that are going to look like Pioneer Park. What's going to help us a lot with building these courts is Parks and Rec with the town of Prescott Valley. Myself is one of the agents, and then Justin Fudge from General Acrylics. We'll have one contractor working with the town, and I'll have oversight for our association because we're doing the funding. So it'll be a tight group that we know what's going on, and we'll make sure that the quality occurs in that. So the major steps to facilitate all these changes so that we could get into our fundraising is we have that collaborative group with General Acrylics, myself, and the town of Prescott Valley. And are you all familiar with Carol Chamberlain with the Arizona Community Foundation? So that is something that Prescott was using for their courts, and we went to her. And there's a lot of things that she can do for us that we wouldn't even begin to touch now because we're just at the infancy stages of what we want to do. But they're managing all of our donor monies will go directly into that group. And it will be done through a website that one of our players, John Shields, started. And it's PrescottValleyPickleball.com. So he has I always call it the donate button. So you can go online and donate directly into the court project. So let's see. The project planning, the phase 1 was our feasibility assessment. So I've been playing since, I think, 2016, and I was one of the key people to talk with Ben Snyder about getting our 4 courts. I watched Prescott's courts going up, and they allowed me to just shadow them. And then, so we looked at the feasibility assessment. I knew all the costs, and people were able to tell me how much would the concrete be, how much would the fencing be. So we itemized everything, and I've met with the town many times through Parks and Rec. So we did the feasibility assessment, and we knew we could do it. At that time, it was between 140 and 160, but we were looking at 8 courts. So that took a while, and then at the beginning of last year, we got connected with Arizona Community Foundation, and then we also applied for approval from the town. So I've been working with Brian. The association's been working with Brian for about 10 months, and then it got approved on January the 25th. And then events happened, so we couldn't actually start our funding process until now. So this is where we are now. So this is phase 3. So Prescott Valley Pickleball Association, last year, middle of the year, we started a pickleball fund committee. So all the monies are going through with Arizona Community Foundation. We're listed as the Prescott Valley Pickleball Fund. And let's see. So one of the people I met with that was very helpful to me is Sandy Griffiths. So I did, she's with the Yavapai County Contractors Association. So I did cold calls to anybody I could think of that might be interested in pickleball in Prescott Valley. And one of the things that Sandy told me, and I won't forget it, is because she said, when you go in to a sponsor, promise me you won't come in like you came into my office. So I said, okay. And then she said, when you get ready to do your fundraising, please come to me, and I will sit and watch your presentation, and I'll help you with it. So sitting with her, I asked her questions, she answered them, and our community is just wonderful because everybody I went to was just very open and kind and very helpful. So I recently found something online, and it's at the back of your paperwork. It's called the Nonprofit Fundraising Formula, and it's by Joe Garrick. And what he did is he's got a lot of information online, and the book that he has is online also. So I read through that, and it made sense to me, and I thought that's what Sandy was talking about, because I've never did major fundraising like this before, but it all made sense to me. So this is my plan. So on page, let's see. Page 7. These are assumptions, my assumptions, and other people's, because I've talked to a lot of people. What I do know is there's not enough outdoor courts for players. So when you look at 6 pickleball courts, it's not going to be enough. But for me, it's okay because we're just teaching people now how to play pickleball, and it's a community site that people will just go to in their off time to have fun. And what I understand, but I don't know where the project is now, is the your 25-year master plan with putting in a lot of sports courts, and hopefully pickleball will be one of those. So when you do your major expansion, and hopefully we can be part of the fundraising for that, the 6 courts are good, and that's where they need to be right now. But what we're doing doesn't stop here, and we'd like to help with the fundraising going forward. There is no public site available for club meetings. Are you all familiar with the multi-generational concept? I think, do you know about multi-gen? Right, okay. So what I'd like to do is at the end just show you that concept. We lived down in Mesa, and I had a business in Apache Junction. Both areas have a multi-gen center. When you walk into the multi-gen center, You don't have, in these communities, you don't have your seniors in one place, your kids in another place, that everybody's scattered. Multi-gen center, all ages are there, everybody's playing, everybody's moving and doing fun things. So they have, multi-gen centers have space for committee meetings, they have a sports court. So many people that have indoor courts, they're playing pickleball on them. Usually they'll set up three courts, which is enough indoors. So those are things that I can see for our future here. Schools need to teach competitive play, and they need to provide outdoor-indoor play for children and youth. So one of my ideas, and I've talked to the director of the Boys and Girls Club. So first I went to the Boys and Girls Club here in Prescott Valley and talked with the young lady that works there. And then I went and talked to Gerald Stozak, I believe is his last name. So we sat down and talked. But again, this was like a year ago, so I don't know how much he remembers of it. But my vision for that is when our courts are finished, the Boys and Girls Club here, they have 100 to 150 children throughout the year, depending on whether it's school year or summer. Their buses are the school buses that pick them up from all of our schools in Prescott Valley, and they transport them places to play sports. They can transport them to our pickleball courts, and they can go out there and they can play. So that's one of the things that I'd like to see happening, so we can get our youth involved. Danny and I have both tried to get into the school systems, but weren't successful with that. And one of our pickleball players connected me with a person that runs, I believe it's a handball program in Alaska. So I said, how did you get your youth group going? And it kind of was popular and it wasn't popular. But one of the things he said is he couldn't get into the school systems. And one of the things I wasn't thinking of, when I worked in Apache Junction, my husband and I ran a business, pediatric practice, and I joined boards everywhere of all the different groups. So I was on a board for the Boys and Girls Club in Apache Junction. So I understand how those things work and just the value of what happens. But if we can get the school buses to take our kids out, the school's involved. And I did run into the principal of the high school here, and I told him, my assumption is, I don't think your kids know how to play pickleball. They're coming out, our Pronghorn Ranch kids are coming out to our courts, and they say, we know pickleball, and these are teenagers, and they don't even know how to begin the game. So there's competitive pickleball out there for these kids in elementary schools and junior high, high schools. And these kids are playing at national levels, and some of the colleges are actually granting scholarships. So we would love to do like after-school programs, if there's some way we could get into that. But I think once our courts are up and we can get kids involved, maybe the schools will follow. I know that we have donors or prospects of people that can donate monies, and I just need to understand how to cultivate this population, and I think we need, because a lot of people say the pickleball players say, oh, you're not going to do that, but we can do it because we're a community that has money, that we spend our money wisely, and ideally what I'd like to do, my assumption is, if we can identify 30 mid-level donors to provide $5,000, we could have $150,000. So a lot of times, when I see other people looking for monies for their projects, they're saying, will you give me $20,000, will you give me $10,000? We do have some pickleball players that are going to be donating some high dollar monies, but I really do believe that there are people out there that know someone that might be willing to donate for this project. The other thing I looked at when I was going to be helping with looking at the courts in Pronghorn, I was looking at the U.S. Census and the facts sheets. So then what I did is I did that for this project, and in 2018 it shows, and I think it's 2016 numbers, that there's over 43,000 people in Prescott Valley. And when I was looking at the age groups, there's over 20+ thousand between 18 and 64. So, are they a vet in a wheelchair? Are they our special needs kids? YEI, I don't know their ages or disabilities. There's just a lot of people that can play, and we want to teach them how to play. So The other thing is the Armed Forces Charity Pickleball Tournament, and that's what I was just talking to you about. It's listed on there. We can do pickleball tournaments, and we can raise monies from these pickleball tournaments and bring people in to stay overnight in our city, or for 2 days, 2 nights. So the next thing up, the fundraising needs and goals. So one of the things that I have available to me is to review marketing strategies with some key organizations. The town of Prescott Valley is one of those. And there's also, and I haven't had the time to talk to Brian about this, the Economic Development Foundation. That's key to me to understand how they're getting businesses interested in things that we're doing. So, and obviously Brian Whitty has been instrumental in making all of this work. Marnie All, we've already met with her before, just presenting the project to her, so I'll be meeting with her again in a couple of weeks. Sandy Griffiths was very helpful, and I'll meet with her again once we get our promotion down. And then Arizona Community Foundation, Carol Chamberlain, what they look at is they look at planned giving, endowments, those types of things that we're not even looking at right now. So I'm looking at long-term, when this project's finished, is to be moving forward with long-term. Fundraising tactics. One of the things they talked about is time wasters, and that's what I keep hearing from my local community is, well, let's do this and let's do that. We don't have enough volunteers. We're all retired people, and they want to play pickleball, but they don't really want to do a whole lot else. So you need a lot of volunteers to get some small projects going. And one of the things that was said is netting $1,000 or $2,000 is not enough. So we don't want to be spending weeks on getting a project done when we're not going to get enough money. So event proceeds should net $20,000, not $2,000. $20,000 is good, but I'd like to go with 5 for major donors right now. So the fundraising tactics that are good, direct mail doesn't work for us right now because we don't want to be spending the money with something we haven't done yet. Events, big and small events. So my small events are meeting with small groups that I'll tell you about later, but the small event would just be going to the board members of different groups that I've identified, and they're on here. A big event is what I'd like to do, and I'm not sure how to do it. We did a big event in the Crystal Room upstairs, and that was for the pickleball players. So that was April the 5th. And so the room was, we had about 42 players there. Food was donated by Backburner. And that's part of the campaign strategy to cultivate our pickleball players, to let them know that it's happening now. The fundraising is happening, and we're all a part of it. Nobody was asked for money. We asked them to join the Pickleball Association, so they'd formally be joining us. What I will be doing is with our 5 groups, just this past year we've had people identify themselves as, I will be responsible for this group. You can email me, and I'll get the emails out to everybody. So there's 9 people I have from those 5 groups. I'm going to go to them, present the fundraising project, tell them I want them to get all of their pickleball players to pay their $10 fee for membership, which is very low, and to get on our records as members of pickleball. Then the next thing that I want them to do is I would like for them to choose an event that they would like to do to raise money, and I have ideas for different things they can do. And it's not going to be a lot of money, probably, or it might be. It's according to how creative they are. And also ask those pickleball players is, can they introduce us to a new prospect? Do they know somebody that's willing to donate monies, and would they approach that person, and I would be happy to go with them. So just teaching them that. So out of these 100 to 200 people, somebody knows somebody that has money that would like to donate to this. Our website is an active feed. It includes the online donation button. And the other thing that we would need with online presence is getting a Facebook account. So Facebook, so one of our members, I'm sure, would be willing to do it. We have all the photos. We have people that know how to write. So between the website and the Facebook can bring people back to the website so that that's being used. Affinity groups and fundraising networks. So the affinity groups, I'm trying to think. So I was at a presentation with Arizona Community Foundation. I met Cindy Brown with the West Yavapai Guidance Clinic Foundation. She works with the Big Brother, Big Sister program. She gets a lot of those people to her group. So those two people I can meet with. They may not necessarily want to donate money, but some of these groups that I've identified, which would be the Prescott Valley HOAs, Boys and Girls Club, Big Brothers Big Sisters, MOA, which is Northern Arizona Military Officers Association, YEI Special Olympics, Pickleball Ambassadors. I would like to go to their boards and talk to them, just in that, doing that, what they call cultivate, just like what we're doing right now, just get them let them become aware of what we're doing, and then just meet with them later and find out if they're interested in donating, whether they donate or not. Do they have someone they know that can donate for us? Yeah, almost done. Okay. There's also something called a cause-related marketing. It's where people put point of purchase where customers add a donation to their bill. So this apparently has been very successful. I'm not sure how it works, but I'll find somebody that knows and we'll look into that. We've had in-kind donations. And then future planning is that steward program. Once you find people, you want to keep them, so it's stewarding, and that's what Carol Chamberlain can help me with. Doing a silent auction, and they say for a really good one, it takes about 10 months, and that's where you can raise monies. But that's working with the town of Prescott Valley and us getting connected with other people. So, and that's basically what we're working on. And you all have any questions?
So Jane, I don't have any questions, but I do have a lot of comments because as you were presenting to us tonight, I've got a whole page full of notes here, and something you talked about was the census. I'll get back to that. Something you talked about was Facebook. So depending on what census numbers you believe in or are accurate, as a local realtor, we're using a number like 45,000. I believe we just last year surpassed the numbers of Prescott. So I believe Prescott Valley is larger. So if you just use the law of averages, let's say if we had 45,000 residents here, if everyone contributed anywhere from $3.20 to $3.50, you'd have your $160,000 overnight. That's on averages. And so hopefully you could get information out to the entire town and kind of make your plea to what you're trying to do and the numbers the money you're trying to raise, and hopefully you'll hit that number pretty quickly. If you leverage Facebook that you talked about and Instagram ads, you can get out there quicker and try and raise your money there as well. So hopefully you'll be able to do that in a relatively short amount of time. And I would like to talk to you after the meeting tonight about something else I have on my mind in that regard.
So if we get pickleball courts and say nobody knows how to play the game, is there going to be paddles and balls provided, or instead of them having to go buy something and say, I don't even like this?
Those will be part of those program development strategies that we'll be working together, not only in partnership, because that's where the knowledge base is. So as we do with all of our instructors, we'll be recruiting, we'll be wanting to grow in that way, but we'll also have to look at some supplies and materials as well. Our responsibility will be in regards to the long term of doing that. So again, keeping the partnership in a fostered way, finding continued donations, those kinds of things for maintenance, but also in programs. So our intent is, yes, it's going to be a multi-phased use approach in regards to instruction, tournament play, open court availability, and doing those types of things, because, again, that is the intent here, is public courts as well. So that is what we'll be doing. We'll also be partnering ahead of time through all of this fundraising development, as we were mentioning in regards to Facebook support. The Friends and Prescott Valley Pickleball Association will be needing to do that, but we'll also be working in regards to the town some strategies to be able to help get that information out as well and direct them to pickleball. To be able to help them find their ways, either as volunteers, interested players, and especially donors in doing those activities.
Brian, could we get a little blurb in the newsletter that goes out with the utility bills, maybe just noting that?
I think we're going to be looking at a multi-pronged effect, but I'm going to really have to leave that with our communications folks in regards to best used strategies and availability.
Dan, I had a question. How many courts do you need to have a tournament?
If a woodchuck could chuck wood.
Exactly. You know, Chuck.
We've had a tournament at Orchard Ranch with 2 courts, and it just took a long time. So Prescott Valley has 8, and we just played on 7 courts at the resort, Prescott Resort, Miller Valley Road. I was with the name of that community that's just been new ownerships there. They have tennis courts, pickleball courts. So they had 7 courts, 150 people.
Or Kingswood?
Yes, yes. And it's run extremely well. We'll have 6 courts, and it's according to how you play. So you may not understand this, but what they did is, what they did is they played to 11. We played 3 games, best 2 out of 3, elimination. Then the last games when people were playing for gold medals, they played to 15. So they just played 1 game to 15. So it's just how you strategize your time. And the people that run the tournaments, they understand the different types of games and points. And back to your question, so to the Arizona Community Foundation, we want to keep that going, and we're going to keep running funds. And I have one of our pickleball players at Granville that what I'm going to have him doing is working on a project of looking at the sheds, all the other things that we want around pickleball. So Brian said we could get a shed that'll be part of it. We'll raise monies for that too. And in that shed goes all the things that we need to play pickleball, and that would include paddles. So the problem is, the question is never a problem, but how do we distribute paddles to people when they come and go? So if our players are there, we can do that. At the Prescott courts, they just have a number keypad, and players go in and get what they want. So if things get lost, they get lost, and we'll figure it out. But we'll like even the Boys and Girls Club, what I'd like to do, what they did in Alaska, is they provided those kids with, for their handball stuff, they have the eye goggles, or pickleball kids need eye goggles, the paddles, everything they need to play, maybe even visors and water balls. So we'll be looking at with small groups, and then the people that are just coming out to play, where do they get their equipment? So.
And as far as the youth development, I'd like to speak with you after the meeting as well. I have some experience with some personal stuff that I've done in the past, so I'll offer some suggestions.
So Jane, I think if you're very aggressive with your plan and your program, I envision by the year 2024 that we'll see pickleball as an event in the Olympics.
Oh, we're not going to wait that long at all.
The Boys and Girls Club in Prescott, they actually have a court now, and they got a grant, and they have the equipment. As far as I know, they still haven't painted the lines. That's since last year. And my goal was I'll teach them pickleball. Sherry North, who's one of our ambassadors, actually was doing indoors. And then if we're getting a gymnasium, we can start our boys and girls as soon as you get to the gymnasium. We can put tape down for lines and teach them pickleball.
Pickleball outside, Jan. Thank you for your service to the country.
Oh, thank you very much.
And this is going to grow so much that in the future 6 courts isn't going to be enough anyway. Prescott's already having troubles with their courts, with the time limits and the fights and the back and forth with. I thought they were public, and it's that nobody can get on them. So that's what I'm kind of hearing through the town. I know some people doing that, and that's what they're saying. It's supposed to be public courts, but nobody can ever get on them. Or if they can, there's a time limits. So I mean, I don't know if we're going to run into. Right.
And also, kids can't just go out there because they get overwhelmed, and there's special needs that kids have to be around adults. So we have to be careful with that. But that's why I wish we could get things into the schools, Boys and Girls Club out there, and then they're going to be reserving courts. Right. So they've got it.
You're going to see a lot of this, much in the same fashion as we do our athletic fields, as we do now.
Same trouble.
Yeah, exactly. We go through those same processes. And so we'll continue that development as well.
And with future parks coming in line with new developments, that
correct
can be
as well.
part of the design guideline
Yes, sir.
requirements as well
Yes.
that we can take up in the future.
Very, very much so. And that is part of that general court design that we have, whether it's tennis, basketball,
Correct.
racquetball, and pickleball is definitely going to be part of that. That will be part of that input that will be provided during those processes.
And obviously for
Town goes out there either to Prescott's courts. I don't think there's no town presence there.
correct.
That makes a difference, I believe.
And I guess just future planning, you know, you could have, if Agua Fria Regional Park was ever developed as planned, we could
Correct.
have quite the hub.
There's a lot in the future as far as possibilities that exist, so definitely.
Well,
Good to get,
hopefully,
you have to start somewhere, and this is a good step.
hopefully we'll be able to identify all this with a new master plan. So if that process starts soon, in the next year or so, those are certainly things we want to consider.
I think what we need to do is have a commission lesson one evening somewhere or sometime, where you guys bring us out and teach us the game, and we'll be your advocates for pickleball, because I see myself being an excellent pickleball player in the future.
And
It's already available to you through Working Ranch. Don Bess, who was the ambassador, but he moved to Hawaii. He
Darn it.
took out one of the, anyway, one of the people from the town, I mean, a couple people to learn pickleball. So I'm opening this up to you, and I'll let them know. They play Monday through Friday, and I'll get back with Brian and let him know, but you can just go out on the courts. Just tell them who you are, and I'll let Sue and their executive board know. But you go out and they play from 7 in the morning. They play the solid 3 hours before they get off the courts.
So would there be an evening time we could all maybe go for the people that work in the day, or is it all daytime?
I'll always come out to Pronghorn, and I'll ask them about evening time, because we have lights there.
Okay.
We're the only ones with lights.
Buzz
So-
up.
That would be Danny Boy. So Danny Boy will set that up for you, and he's already working with Ben Snyder and doing lessons for us on Monday nights. So if you'd like to come out on a Monday night, that would be awesome.
Do you have an idea of time?
6 p.m. or?
No, actually, I think 4 to 6 is when he does it, but, Ben Snyder's awesome, and Danny will arrange whatever it is you want to do. We'll meet your needs.
Buzz, I'll pick you up and drop you off, and I'll also bring the Bengay and the ibuprofen for you.
Yeah, lots of that.
No problem.
I mean, you do realize Buzz is a big deal.
Yes,
But I'm bummed.
that's right, that's right.
Okay.
With the old racket.
And pickleball.
Well, thank you very much, Jan. It's been a pleasure, and glad to see things moving forward. Hopefully the timeline's short. Good. Thank you. All right. Moving on to new business, we have our Mountain Valley Splash 2018 season kickoff information from Mr. Brady Peck.
Brady in the house.
Yeah.
Right, Brady in the house.
As you mentioned, the teen summer kickoff, I'm going to pull that one up. That's going to be Friday, May 25th from 1 to 4 p.m. It's our first year doing it, and we're hoping to have a number of teens. We can have up to 200 there. It's $5, and that'll get them hot dog, soda, chips. We're going to have a live DJ, games, and we'll also have some prizes at the pool. And it's a great way to kick off the first day of summer for all the kids in the community. We are hoping that this is successful and bring more teen-themed parties to the community, as that's one area that we're looking to expand on, especially at the pool. If you're interested in purchasing tickets, they are available online, pvaz.net, or you can call our office, 759-3090. The ticket is required for entry. If we do have tickets available, they will be available for purchase the day of. Otherwise, it's first come, first serve. So get your tickets while they are still out there.
Very good.
And we'll move on to other aquatics. We have facility rentals. June's already filling up. We have only one Saturday evening left for facility rentals. So if you're interested in throwing an awesome party, give us a call, 775-3165 over at the pool. I'll be happy to get you set up with times and dates that are available. We do have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday evenings. Starts at $97.50 an hour, plus lifeguard fees. We do have school rentals scheduled in the next 2 weeks, so that's always a fun kickoff to our summer for the returning college students that are looking to get their hours in. So we do have availability rentals all the way through the end of August. Again, give us a call at the pool, 775-3165. And three of our biggest programs, we have water aerobics. We have 2 sessions, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings. We have 55 and up. It's at 9 a.m. And we have evening aerobics for adults 18 and older, Mondays and Wednesdays at 6:15 p.m. It's $3.25 a session, or you can purchase a 17 punch pass for $47.50. That's 17 visits for the price of 15. And for everyone that says we do not have lap swim, we do have lap swim available during these times. We do have 2 lanes that are actually pretty regularly used during that time. We'd love to see more people out there for lap swim. We do have swim lessons coming up as well, with registration starting on May 19th. We'll be open at the pool 8 a.m. for registrations. It's first come, first serve. We do have a number of sessions. They fill up really quickly, the evening ones. So come in person. If you cannot, for the first time, we're offering online registration that will begin at noon. Allow the folks that either do not have access to computers or not computer savvy the ability to come in and get their preference ahead of time before the younger folks swoop in and get all the preferable times. It's $43 a session, and discounts available for siblings on the same receipt. We also have our recreational swim team. Session 1 begins June 4th. They practice 5 days a week in the morning, 7:30 to 8:45 a.m. And we do have a home meet and an away meet. The dates are to be determined. I'm working on that tomorrow. It's $97.50 a child with $20 discount for siblings on the same receipt. All this can be found online at pvaz.net or by calling the pool 775-3165.
What kind of weather do you have scheduled?
We put in a request for warm, sunny days, and so far this spring, it seems to be fulfilled. So I'm hoping that it continues and we do not have a repeat of last year's July with 24 rainy days.
Well, unfortunately, we need the rain, but yeah, for your purposes, I hope we have plenty of sunshine. So
yes, we do need the rain badly, but for operations at the pool, we will definitely take as many sunny,
Absolutely.
cloudy, free days as we can.
And how about, how about lifeguard helps, staff? Are you getting all that filled and training?
Absolutely. We are actually filled our staff earlier than anticipated this year. Last few years, we've still been advertising for staff at this point. We had an abundance of applications this year, and we were able to fill it with our first call for applicants. So our staff is all trained up, and we're conducting more trainings as we could have 2 weeks left before the start of the season. And we're looking forward to kicking off the summer strong.
Very good.
That's great.
That was my question.
Oh.
Brilliant minds think alike.
Sharing notes back and forth.
no.
Well, I did notice when he was saying people that don't know how to use computers, he was staring at me. I did notice that a little.
I was thinking about another gentleman in the audience right now.
Very good. Well, it's going to be an exciting season for all the people of Prescott Valley that like to partake in the wet.
And again, reiterate the swim lessons because they do fill up fast.
They do, and we're pushing for the budget, and we're still waiting on adding a couple more sessions than we have in the past, just to appease that need, because the evening ones fill up very quickly when the parents are off of work. So we are looking into adding additional swim times.
Outstanding.
Good.
Outstanding, much needed. Any other questions for Brady? Thank you, Brady.
All right, thank you. Turn it back over to Brian.
Oh, aren't these young people fun and all their technology?
Well, you should have heard what they said about you when you were off.
Oh, I can only imagine. I can only imagine. So the voicemails that I'll have in doing that. Our next item for your review tonight, Commission, is your 2018-19 calendar. I apologize. We need to update some dates, or maybe I am looking at the wrong schedule in front of me, because I'm seeing a 2017 through 2018 calendar.
That's right. Oh, shoot.
Okay. Ultimately, in your 2018-19 calendar, what we're looking at doing is reflecting the same dates, with the exceptions of the months of July and the month of December, which has been historically accurate based upon the Sitting Commission and their interest and desires for summer vacation as well as a holiday break. If this still meets with your intent and desires for the 2018-19 calendar year, we'll be happy to fulfill that. Have that calendar presented to you at your June meeting for adoption that would then take place in August.
Sounds wonderful.
Yeah, this schedule has worked really effectively for the commission for a number of years. I would say let's just stick with it.
Okay?
Agreed.
Very good. We will have that completed and ready for your adoption at your June meeting then. Okay? In addition to that, one of the other items that will be an action item during your June meeting is your annual election of officers. Commissioner Freyer, chairperson for the Parks and Rec Commission, if my records are accurate, which could be debated, you took your first term starting in June of 2017, full term.
Full term.
Full term completion. That would then make you eligible for a second term.
I think it's time for new leadership at the helm. So
Very good.
It seems like when we elected Pat last time, that was a 5-year term.
Well, I wish I could
Brinkman.
agree to that, Commissioner Brinkman, but I can agree to a 2-year simply because my bosses and yours, the town council, will allow any commissioner serving as the chair to serve 2 consecutive 1-year terms. Now, you may have implied that it was actually, you were mistaken 5 and really it was 2, and that's what he had agreed to when he originally signed up. But I'll let you have that debate.
Yeah, I understand. It's actually part of the town code, so we know that.
yeah, that'll always good fun. But with taking over when our previous chairman had to step away.
Correct.
You know, that essentially has been 2 terms because I think she was only in for 1 meeting before she had to step away.
That is correct.
I appreciate the opportunity to be the chairperson, but I think we have a very
I think you've done
highly
a fine
qualified,
job. I really do. He's done a great job.
qualified board here to fill in and.
Yes, sir. So with my understanding, you'll be declining any nominations that might have your name attached to it.
Yes, sir.
As chairperson. So with that being said, commissioners, what I would like you to do is review your availability, to have discussions amongst yourselves. We'll be looking for a slate of candidates at the June meeting and election of those candidates in their nominated positions. We have a chair, a vice chair, and a secretary. Those would be the 3 available positions. The vice chair and secretary, if they would like to continue, they can as well. But the chairperson's seat is wide open.
And no dirty politics.
Very good. Very good. So those will be your 2 action items, will be election of officers and then your 2018-19 calendar. With that, staff has no other items. If commission has any, we are here to help.
Seeing none. Any other items? Anyone? Any unscheduled public appearances? Nope. I think everybody's spoken and has had a desire to. Our next meeting will be Tuesday, June 12th, 2018 at 6:30 p.m. here in the auditorium. And with that, I will take a motion for adjournment.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
A second.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And we are adjourned.